Well, welcome back, my friends, to another episode of Automotive Drama. Today I got this Porsche Macan, and I'm going to show you how to do the rear brake pads. Actually, how to remove the rear brake pads. And then, I got to put performance brakes on it, but that's a different issue. I already did the fronts, and I got another video on that. But, on how the rotors go and blah, blah, blah. But, because it has electronic parking brake. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Pretty much all of these Mercedes, you can reset them from the dash. Some manufacturers actually say just remove the electric motor and then you can retract the caliper. But 99% of them, you can actually just take the motor off. I think it's a 10-point socket, and then you just retract it all the way back and it brings the caliper back for you. Make sure you crack open the bleeder. I got my little special tool, and because you don't definitely want to run brake fluid back through the master cylinder. Now, the only way you're going to be able to do this is if you have an advanced scanner. I got a launch because launch is really geared for European cars, but they're going to have to. Let me back this up one little bit. When you get into the car, you have to go to, where the hell is it? Parking brake. I don't know if there you go, parking brake. And then you have special function. I haven't even done it yet. It says assembly position. Okay. Move to install position. And then I have to, when I'm done, I have to go back and I have to end assembly position, and it repositions the brake pads. It says blah, 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 blah. I'm probably going to have to close the door because it won't let me do it. I'll come over here. You gotta blah, 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 blah. I don't even know if the hood up it'll let me do it, but let's see. Warning, automatic moving parts and rear axle limbs can be crushed by the rear axle open, closed. Do not work the rear brake pads while they're moved to moving out of assembly position. So don't step on the pedal, is what it's saying. Status, parking brake released right. Status, parking brake released left. And it says okay, and then you hit next. Hopefully you could heard that. Routine ended successfully. Okay. Successfully done, so that means the motors and the calipers, the brake pads can now be changed. After changing the brake pads, select end assembly position. Now I have to go back into it because I'm not going to leave my scanner on the whole time I'm doing it. And then I have to go back in there, and then it retracts them back. If anybody knows how to do this on the dash, I would love to hear it. A lot of Mercedes I can do on the dash. There's a lot of vehicles I can actually do on the dashboard, but this one in particular, you're going to need your scanner. So if you don't have one of those, you can try to. You could definitely. Yeah, the thing about these, sometimes they're tricky, and you have to. Some cars work when you actually take the motors off of the calipers. You have to use the parking brake a couple of times, and then they'll reset. I've done a lot of cars like that. Some, like I said, some of the manufacturers say to actually do that. But that's just a little trick to get away with them mostly. And you usually won't set a code in the system. If you do, then you're off to the shop to get it cleared out. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. And like always, likes are nice, subscribes are better. Questions, comments, feel free. Watch this far, take that thumb muscle and exercise it a little bit. Hit the like button, subscribe button, ring the bell. You can watch some more episodes if you want. If not, don't. And have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.